King Charles has allegedly reacted, apparently brushing off Meghan Markle's lickspittle, Omid Scobie's, and his book Endgame, along with its racist remarks. However, legal action is not off the table. And let's not forget, Meghan is also still facing her sister in court. That case just set a new date and is not going away. Welcome to Popcorn Palace. I am Andy Signor. I always need to start with an accent. I feel more royal when I'm here with you guys. And oh my goodness, the royal gossip is now becoming real juicy. And as we've reported on both here and on Popcorn Planet, this story's gotten pretty big. This royal racist row is now prompting a lot of reactions and potential lawsuits. Well, apparently now the king has brushed off Omid Scobie in the race row and jokes. He's all right, just about. So let's see. And King Charles today brushed off the row in Endgame just before Omid appeared on British TV today, as Meghan and Harry were urged to sue their favorite royal reporter over the Dutch version of Endgame, naming the two royal racists. It's another part of this. Now, Meghan and Harry could sue Omid, right? They could stand up and say, this was nonsense. These are lies. This is defamation, Omid. We didn't give you any information. We will prove it in a court of law. We have nothing to fear. Oh, but boy, do they have something to fear. Clearly, they have something to fear. So that leaves King Charles. And if King Charles and Princess Catherine decide to pursue legal action, oh, the discovery would be glorious. So Meghan and Harry must be sweating, because why haven't they debunked and denounced Endgame? Disavow Endgame. Hashtag disavow Endgame, Harry and Meghan. You won't, because you're clearly involved. But royal experts and insiders say there's anger at the heart of the British royal family over the scandal, heightened after Piers Morgan revealed the names on live TV last night, which we talked about over on Popcorn Planet. Go and watch that coverage. The king has landed in Dubai, where he will give a keynote speech, climate change conference. When asked by Nigeria's president how he was, the monarch replied, "I'm all right, very much, just about." So again, this is coming in from the king directly, responding as all of this is happening. He added, having had a rather ancient birthday recently, recovering from the shock of that, a nod to turning 75. Mr. Scobie, nicknamed Meghan and Harry's mouthpiece by critics, their lick spittle, held his first British TV interview on ITV this morning. Some royal fans urged people to boycott the show when he was on it. The royal family is understood to be considering all options, including legal action. So yes, lots of reactions coming in, but King Charles is brushing it off. Now, that doesn't mean that the legal options are off the table. And that's the big issue here. Will they pursue it? Now, we had Black Belt Barrister over on Popcorn Planet. Again, lots of coverage to catch up on if you missed it. In fact, just a reminder, make sure you have subscribed if you haven't already. Hit the bell for alerts and smash that like button, ideally to both channels, so you get the coverage that we got here. But as Black Belt said, yes, he is legally now in trouble. It is defamation by UK law. It's going to come down to, well, who put it there? Who was involved? And yes, then we could discover if Meghan and Harry were involved. Now, as we know in Fighting Freedom, Meghan was involved in the bullet points for his last book. So who were the sources this time? I hope we find out, because I think this is getting out of hand. And Piers Morgan agreed, and that's why Piers Morgan put it out there. And I don't blame him. I know there's some, oh, why did you talk about it? Because everybody knew it was already out there. It was out there. And it's because of Omid, not Piers. And I think it's important to get ahead of it. Piers acknowledging and Piers defending. And I think he did quite well on his show last night. Omid is out there just loving this attention. And that's where things are getting problematic for me. This is all for his attention, for Meghan and Harry. Why are they drudging this back up? Will the royals actually take action? Black Belt Barrister unsure if they would. It is a big step. What do you guys think? I know you want them to, but do you think they will? What's it going to take for them to do that? Meanwhile, while Omid is fearing that legal action, and then in turn, Meghan and Harry could be implicated there as well, there is another trial that Meghan is in fact going to have to face. It is still on the docket. While Meghan and her team have tried to prove, oh, it's thrown away, it is not. I was there in that courtroom watching that judge listen to this case. And I'll be honest, I said it then and I'll say it again here. I was skeptical because I knew how hard it was for Samantha to prove this. But I'll tell you what, man, when I heard Samantha's lawyer go at it and explain all the problems and show the malicious intent of Meghan trying to tarnish Samantha's livelihood, her name, the book that she was putting out there, right or wrong. She was clearly having an initiative and malicious intent to discredit and defame her in ways that I think are things we need to look at and not just throw away. And the judge clearly agreed. Meghan's team had rechanged some wordage of things. It was sketchy as hell. And in fact, I implore you, if you haven't watched the interview, go check it out. Over there, you can see our exclusive interviews. Just look up the Samantha Markle and Popcorn Palace. It'll pop up here along with a lot of other content to catch back up on. But to bring that update in, listen, we still have time to figure out whether the trial will continue. But as the judge said, everything must continue. I am not delaying anything. We will let you know our word, and if then that changes things, so be it. But you will not get extensions or delays. Keep continuing as is. Now, that's a big deal to try to set a trial date, right? Which they've now done. It's set for November 4th, 2024, next year, right here in my city at Tampa Bay, Florida. So you bet your butt, if this goes through, we will be covering it in great depth because if this goes to trial, guess what happens? Not Meghan and her father will need to be here. They will be deposed in this lawsuit. I guess they don't have to be here per se, but they will be deposed and answered questions. Now, will she show up in person? Probably. She'll probably avoid it, but this case will become huge. And if she doesn't show, it's not going to help her case at all. Now, Samantha's suing for $75,000, obviously more, and just her credibility and everything else that's on stake for her. And I really, really, really think she has a good shot at this. The fact that the judge didn't just throw this out. The fact that Prince Harry could also be called. A lot of people could be called. And a lot of people in this discovery process will be there. Why would they want to put this out there and waste that time with such high profile clients if she wasn't seriously considering this trial going to trial? And again, going to trial doesn't mean Samantha wins. This is an uphill battle for Samantha to win. I'm not going to lie. Defamation is hard to prove here in the States. However, I believe Samantha's team adequately and proved that there should be a case here where a jury gets to decide whether it was defamation or not. And that's what we're currently fighting for, to ensure that they get that opportunity. Peter Tickton, who we are going to be looking towards having on the channel soon. So like I said, subscribe. You're not going to miss it over here and on Planet. He told Newsweek he feels confident the case won't be dismissed this time around. Once I explained how and why Meghan did what she did to discourage readers from reading Samantha's book, which was titled The Name Princess Pushy in it, the whole case made more sense. Speaking to reporters outside, Samantha, who suffers from multiple sclerosis, used a wheelchair, says she was optimistic about her case. Meghan's attorney, Michael Kump, says it's all baseless. This has always been a lawsuit in search of a viable claim. The case has failed because it runs heads first up against defamation law and the First Amendment. That's always their argument. Their argument isn't that Meghan didn't defame. Their argument is, well, the laws protect us, so what if she did? That's how effed up this is. That's how when Meghan's high-profile lawyers showed up, that was the argument. Your Honor, you can call someone racist. First Amendment's proven that that's not defamatory. Sorry. So Meghan's lawyers do no help in trying to make her look innocent. No, Meghan absolutely did defame Samantha Markle. The question is the extent of defamation enough for it to be warranted in a court of law here in America? And that is a hard thing to win. Let's be clear. I'm going to be clear about it all day long. But I believe what Samantha and her attorneys and everybody really wants is the shot, the opportunity to open up that discovery, because that will be extremely telling. And oh my goodness, I want that desperately. So fingers crossed. I'm feeling good. I have spoken to Peter because we're lining up an interview as well. So stay tuned. And yes, he shared the same thing. I mean, I asked, like, how much longer do you think this case will go? The honesty is it's impossible to judge. However, he's confident. And I think as he reminded me, and as I see it, why would the judge do all this right now and delay and keep things moving, set dates, etc., set witnesses who are now going to be deposed? These are all these scheduling and things that are interfere with people's lives and schedules is a lot to ask for the judge to be sitting and waiting and still thinking. That to me proves that Meghan should be sweating, because I think this case is going to go further than she hopes. We'll see. Fingers are crossed. I want to know what you guys think. So there's a lot on the table here, as both now Omid and potentially Meghan and Harry, if they are involved in this, there's a lot of legal repercussions on the table. So lots more for us to cover. You're not going to miss it. Hit the bell. Stay tuned for more. We will be live later today talking about this on Popcorn Planet. I hope to see you guys there. 3 p.m. Black Belt Barrister and more guests. See you guys then.